All right, we're coming to you live on this beautiful Monday afternoon, John, from the tri-state area. It is time for another episode of the J&B Sports Podcast. So, John, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Good, Brandon. A very pleasant good afternoon to you on this windy Monday, the 18th day of July, 2022.
Beautiful day today, and as we get ready for hopefully a very exciting All-Star week, got the home run derby tonight. A lot of excitement coming around about that. Are you excited for the home run derby?
I am, especially my boy Peter going for 3 in a row.
All right, well,
Down to
it's going to be an
COVID
interesting
season.
one. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. And listen, a lot of people, I'm hearing that a lot of people are looking more forward to the home run derby than the actual All-Star game.
I agreed. You have him facing up with Acuna in the first round tonight.
I think a lot of people are actually, if you're a Yankee fan, you're actually excited for the All-Star game because you have like 100 guys in the game. You have Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Garrett Cole, and you have Nestor Cortez, I believe. Trevino. Trevino is in it.
Yep.
And Cortez is in it too, right?
Yep, he's a pitcher on the
So
All-Stars.
what is that, like 5 guys they have that are from the Yankees that are on the All-Star roster?
Who did you name? It was what? Judge, Stanton,
Cole, Trevino, and Cortez.
Holmes.
And Clay Holmes. Yeah, that's 6 guys right there.
Well, Cole's not going to be there since he pitched yesterday.
Right, but he's still on the roster, right?
He's not active, but he's allowed to be there because he was named to the roster.
Well, that's good. That's good. But it's going to be fun. I mean, listen, the All-Star game is, I like the All-Star game, but, I think the home run derby is the actual fun part of the week.
I think it's the best All-Star game out of the 4 major sports. Since it's the only one you actually have to try.
Exactly. The NBA All-Star game is a good time too.
But you don't play defense.
Yeah, it's like a joke. I mean, they literally just don't even guard anybody, and they just shoot tons of threes, and the score is like 200 to like 199 at the end of the game.
And the Pro Bowl, you have guys not even bothering, refs not calling flags.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I think the MLB All-Star game is the best All-Star game by a mile out of all these All-Star games. I mean, with the NBA, it's cool because you got different games. You have the dunk contest, you have the skills contest, the three-point contest. So there's mini games, before the All-Star game. There's also the celebrity game too, which they did have at Dodger Stadium, I believe. They had the celebrity All-Star. It was like it was a softball game
every year.
Right. So the MLB and the NBA All-Star game very similar. Very similar, but I agree with you. I think the MLB All-Star game is a more popular All-Star game in terms of its overall meaning. But yeah, I agree with you, John, 100%.
They did do the right thing giving the Dodgers the All-Star game after they didn't get it because of COVID.
Yes, 100%. But yeah, I'm excited. I know you're excited for tonight. It's gonna be a fun time. And then before you know it, John, we go right back into baseball Thursday. I believe it was the Yankees and Astros.
Yep, doubleheader.
It's gonna be fun to watch for sure. It's gonna be a fun It's going to be fun for sure. But I'm a little, you know, I'm excited for the Yankees in the second half. But do you think there's a couple things they have to fix in terms of, lineups, bullpen, what they do with their outfields?
Probably get a more consistent left fielder than Joey Gallo.
Yeah, Joey Gallo, man, I like him, but there's something tells me he's going to be traded.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the guy, but I don't know if we need him.
I would say try to get a starting pitcher for him.
Another starting pitcher would be great.
Since what is it? Severino's out.
Severino's out. Germán is still out.
Montgomery has been a little
right. He's been a little off lately. I agree with you.
Friday night, he did not too good.
No, but thank God we won the next 2 games after that.
Yep. That was a very interesting game Friday night.
They should. How do you not win that game? And I always said that I feel like the home team always had the advantage when it came down to extra innings in this new game now, because all you have to do when it comes when a home team is you just got to get the runner home from second, and then that's it. And then before you know it, if you're a visiting team, like you said, John, you brought this up perfectly, is you have to score as many runs as possible, and that's what the Cincinnati Reds did, I believe, in the last game of the series.
If you listen to Gary Cohen, he always says it when the game goes to extra innings.
Right. Like, I'm a little concerned because, we always thought the Yankees were very good in extra innings, but, we might have a lot of in the second half, there might be a lot of extra inning games because the teams are heating up. They're playing really good. And this is the peak of the season where teams get red hot. And could the Yankees still maintain that extra inning firepower that they had at the beginning of the season?
That's a big difference between the Mets and Yankees, though. I believe I heard the other day Mets have only lost 1 extra inning game this year.
Mets have only lost 1 extra game. That's amazing. And I believe the Yankees are also very good in extra. I mean, the Yankees have a very good record in extra innings too. I got to pull it up. I don't really know it off the top of my head, but I'm very excited because, everyone thought the Mets were going to fall apart at the beginning of the season. You know the drill. John, you've been a Met fan your whole life. You know the drill. Yeah. They usually have a good start to the season, and then you look for that collapse where they just start turning the wagon and going the other way. But they haven't done that because of Buck Showalter, I believe. I think Buck is the reason that the Mets are a playoff potential World Series team this year.
Yep. And yet a lot of unlikely heroes during this season so far.
You do. I mean, I think Escobar needs to play more. I like Escobar. He's a very good player. I like the utility guys they have. I think they have a very, very good lineup every night. I think that the lineup they put together is very good. And I think Brandon Nimmo, I like Brandon Nimmo, but Jeff McNeil has been a very good, very important part to their team.
He's in number 9 here tomorrow night.
And what does that show you? That their whole lineup is like the Yankees. They got strength throughout the whole lineup.
How about this? That you have a 300 hitter hitting 9th because of all-star rosters.
See, it's not like the old days where you would put your weakest hitter 9th.
Yep.
It's different now. It's a new era where they try to spread out the power throughout the lineup.
How about this for McNeil's career so far? In almost 1,600 at-bats, he's hitting .299.
.299.
He struggled lately, but he's been a very solid hitter all year.
Right.
And congratulations to him on the birth of his first child.
Congratulations.
The one and only flying squirrel.
I love that. That's good. That's an interesting thing going on there, John.
Yes.
But I'm excited. I know you're excited. And next week we have a probably, I would say, the highlight of the season next week with the Yankees and the Mets from Citi Field. It's going to be a fun fun series. I mean, it's only 2 games. Now, listen, we all prefer if it was a weekend series, but
Yep.
you know what? 2 games during the week, that's fine. As long, maybe, hopefully, we'll see Scherzer pitch against Cole in one of the games. That would be great.
DeGrom is supposed to be back apparently either Sunday or Monday or Tuesday.
Now I'm hearing rumors that the Grom might not. They don't want to put the Grom in that position against the Yankees to start. Now they're saying they might not. I'm hearing reports that they might sit him out until after the Yankee series. Did you hear those rumors?
I did not, or they. Would you think they would put him against the Padres, who are struggling right now?
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, I mean that makes more logical sense. I believe. I mean, with the Yankees, you're taking a risk because the Yankees could just, with the Grom's first game,
Yeah.
he could just, and I'm not knocking the Grom, but that Yankee lineup, he could easily get hurt. I'm not hurt. What's the word I want to use? He could easily get
He could easily
rocked.
end up like Chris Sale.
He could get rocked. I mean, because the Yankee lineup is just firepower all around, and I think you don't want to put the Grom in that situation in his first game. You want him to have a smooth start to his debut back with the Mets.
Don't worry, he'll be throwing 100 probably by the second pitch.
By 100, yeah, maybe 101, 102.
Yep, and then striking someone out,
Absolutely.
blowing pitches past Judge.
Remember when Judge hit that monster shot? He had a couple of them at Citi Field. One into the top, was it the 500 level?
Something like that against some guy who's not even on the team anymore.
Dude, this is fucking. This is amazing that these two teams. I can't get over how fun it is to watch both these teams dominate.
Yeah.
Like they're literally on a rampage right now in terms of possibly meeting in the World Series.
Yep.
Now it's going to be hard to. The postseason's not easy anymore. It's like winning a luck of the draw. But imagine, John, we see a Yankees Mets World Series like we did in 2000.
Can we just say that all the random people who have contributed this year, probably to both teams? Like, who knew who Adonis Medina was until he came up and got a save against the Dodgers last month in LA? What do you think about that, Brandon?
Say that one more time, John.
Adonis Medina, guy they picked up for cash on opening day. He had a very nice little rookie year.
Yeah.
A guy who only had 11 innings in 2 years going into this year. Has pitched in 11 games, 1-0 and 3 ERA.
Wow. I mean, some seasons so far, listen, that's what happens. Players come out of nowhere and they be really good.
Yep.
But I'm excited for the evolution of baseball. We love seeing these new players, man, and especially with the Yankees last night. Now, who did the Yankees pick? The 6'7" guy from Vanderbilt. I forgot his name, but Spencer Jones. I think his name's Spencer Jones.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Maybe, and somebody said maybe he's going to be a left-handed Aaron Judge. Imagine a left-handed Aaron Judge on that Yankee lineup.
Back to the draft.
It makes sense because they have the lefties are really a big deal at Yankee Stadium, with the short porch.
Yep, the Little League field, as Chris Woodward called it back in May.
Little League field. Very funny. I mean, listen, I see what he's saying, but come on now. I mean, it's a Major League Baseball ballpark. It's not easy. You think anyone could just hit a home run there? It's not hard. It's not easy. There's only certain people that could do it.
I guess so. But back to the draft. How about some of those early picks we saw last night?
Yeah, I mean, and listen, if you know me well, I don't really follow. I mean, I know you follow the draft more than I do.
Yep.
I really don't really watch I don't watch the MLB draft that much, and here's why.
Yeah.
Because I don't think because there's a whole, with the NBA, it's different. They all start off, they get drafted and most of them go play a game in the NBA right away.
That's the problem. They're not mature enough yet.
Right. So that's why the NBA draft is more popular, because the players, first of all, they market them a lot differently. And second of all, they play immediately when they're drafted. They don't go to, there's no AAA system, there's no minor league system. I mean, there's the G League, but you don't see them go there that much. A lot of players just go right to the NBA and playing games.
Yeah.
That's the difference, with MLB. MLB, there's a whole process. You got to start off at double A, and then you try to move up to triple A, and then you go back and forth, and then eventually when they need you, they'll call you up to the major leagues for a game, and then they'll send you back. It's a whole process.
Yep.
I mean, I like it. I like the idea, but to me, MLB is about just anybody. It's not that much about the draft. I mean, a lot of players are selected. Not every player is selected in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of players are just undrafted, right?
I believe so. You don't see that many, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, listen, I wish, it'd be cool, but I just don't follow it as much as the other drafts. But with I'm very happy with what the Yankees got in that draft last night.
They had better draft than the Knicks.
They did. They clearly did.
Well, the big thing is you can't trade draft picks in MLB.
Oh, you can't trade draft picks? Okay, I didn't know that.
You can only do, I think, the competitive balance picks.
Okay, well, that's cool. That's cool. But you know what? I agree with you. I don't like the idea of trading picks, because the draft that's what it's for. It's for picking somebody.
Yep.
So if you're going to trade somebody, do it when the season starts. You don't have to do it literally at the draft, because what does that show? That tells, that's just not, to me, that's not morally right, because the idea of the draft is to pick somebody to perform on your team. And if you don't want that player, then don't pick him.
Yep. I saw it today in the recent rounds. Fellow Monmouth University alumni Trey Dombrowski out of Wall just got drafted by the Astros.
No way. Really? So the local guy was picked.
Yeah, it's 4th round.
You've been seeing a lot of that lately. I mean, we had players from. We had, I believe, a couple of players from. I know a couple of players that were selected by the Dodgers. I mean, I don't know them personally, but I heard that they were selected by the Dodgers and from around here. I'm not going to say where they're from, but they're from close to where I live. If you know where I live, not that far from here. Yeah. They there, and then you had Marinaccio picked. You can't forget, the local guy. Who else was picked from around here?
Frazier.
Oh, well, that's probably the biggest. That was the most successful draft pick of all time in terms of locals who succeeded in the Major League Baseball.
Or some guy that plays in Anaheim named Mike.
Oh, forget about Mike. Can't forget about Mike Trout. Mike Trout. Well, yeah. So you've been seeing a lot of that lately when it comes down to local guys being drafted, and you know what? You see that more often with baseball than in the NBA. I mean, with the NBA, we had a couple of people. We've had Karl-Anthony Towns selected from around here. We've had
and J.R. Smith was from Freehold.
J.R. Smith was from Freehold. Who else? Well, Jalen Brunson was from New Brunswick, who was drafted.
Yep.
But yeah, the bottom line is there were a lot of players, from locally, which is good. It's good to see the local guys go to the pros. It's a good thing.
I got a text from a very special friend of ours.
Okay, what's the text?
Tony wanted to know if he can watch it somewhere.
The show is not live right now. It'll be live on Facebook, it's going to be on. Actually, John, we are done with Facebook.
Yeah.
I want to make that announcement. Facebook Live has. I don't think Facebook is the way we're going to be going anymore. I don't think it is, great to use. I think we're going to start just using YouTube and the Spotify app. So tell your friends or anybody to watch it on the YouTube JB Podcast YouTube channel, and I'll share the link with everybody just so they can have an idea of where to find it in case they want to watch it.
There are very few subscribers.
Yeah, I got to see how many subscribers we have, but I got to look at our viewings. I mean, I'm hoping that the ratings look somewhat okay right now. I think in terms of how we've been doing, you and I think we've done a great job. I like how we're having just a conversation when it comes to sports. I think that when we had the guest on the other day, the ratings went really good with our guest, especially with Doug from Saraba Broadcasting. That was a really good guest we had, and Ian and Andrew. It's a good show that we had. But we're going to hopefully have more guests in the future. But yeah, so to answer your question to Tony, the show will be on YouTube, the YouTube channel that we have, and Spotify. So let them know they'll be on Spotify, so you can listen to it anywhere, anytime on the Spotify app, and anywhere on the YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel. But yeah, we're resigning from Facebook Live. I think the Facebook Live is, not really a useful thing to have. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want people looking at me like I'm stupid or anything that I know from high school or anything. So I wanted what do you think, John? I think it's probably good that we just stick with the YouTube and Spotify.
Yes.
So we're going to stick with that. YouTube, Spotify, get anywhere on the app, and hopefully soon it'll be on Apple Podcast. But back to what we were talking about. What were we talking about, John? The MLB draft? Oh, no, we were talking about local players who went to local players from our area who were drafted by professional sports, and a lot in football, John. A lot in football.
Yep.
Which makes sense. Which makes a lot of sense.
What was it? Yeah, Kenny Pickett from Ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, you had him. You had.
You have the McCourys who went to Rutgers.
Right. You had a lot of players drafted from our area who are in the pros now in professional football.
Yeah.
But I like this was I'm going to search more, and next time on the next show, maybe I'll bring up some more notable players who are from New Jersey who, were from Shaquille O'Neal. He was born in New Jersey.
Yep, very noble. My family actually knows personally. And Dandy Sclafani, he went to Colts Neck.
That's right.
Currently pitching on the Giants.
Yes, and he's pretty good actually.
Yep. Brad Brock, another Freehold product.
Anthony DeSclafani, yep, from Freehold, New Jersey.
Possibly the best player to come out of Colts Neck so far.
And you know what his nickname is? Disco. He's got a nickname, Disco. I love that. I know one of our friends would like that.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Oh yes, the great Madison Valdez. And as you know, if you know Madison Valdez, my partner with SportsCenter with the Bad Band, he loves disco. He loves a good disco. He loves a good song from the disco era, and I don't blame him. Disco's a great genre.
We have to get him on here sometime.
We should get him on here. I want to have him on to talk about the Nets. I'm going to try and I'm going to text him and see if he wants to actually join the next podcast. But we haven't done a SportsCenter with the Madman show in a while, but I'd like to do it again soon, maybe in the fall when football comes around. But that's the thing. It's good to have local guys from Jersey.
Yep.
Be on professional teams. But John, I'm excited for you because you are going to Mets Padres this Friday, right?
It has been changed this Sunday.
The two things that I'm looking forward for you to go. So you're going to Mets Padres. That's going to be a good game. You're going to with some friends, some of your friends.
With you're possibly coming to.
Possibly. See how it goes. And also, John, you are going to Seattle. Now, I was originally supposed to go, but unfortunately, for personal reasons, I am not able to go. But I want you, and you're going to Seattle. You're going to have the time of your life, my man.
With Douglas.
Yes. And I want you guys to take some good pictures for us. And when you come back, I'll share some of the pictures on the podcast, and maybe the fans will be interested in some of the viewery of Seattle.
Maybe, especially T-Mobile Park.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a good time. I've heard Seattle was a great city.
So have I.
I mean, it might be a little chilly, but it's the scenery is supposedly very nice.
Yep, because it's in the Northwest. Me and Doug might have to get dressed warmly than when we leave here.
Just please make sure Doug has a Bud Light. Doug likes a good a nice cold Bud Light from time to time.
At least one during the game.
One during the game, but please make sure he doesn't go cold. He got to keep him hydrated. He can't go without a Bud Light for at least a day or two. He has to have a nice cold Bud Light.
You never know. We might also end up at the Angels game that same weekend.
Well, if you're there, you might as well go.
Yeah. The good
Plus,
thing is the
you
Yankee
see-
game's at night.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Mm.
But the Mariners, speaking of Seattle, the Mariners have been on a roll. What is it, 14 games in a row?
Yep, and Julio's been a star so far.
He's been really good. He's been really good. Now, no one thought that the Mariners would be that good this year, but they really have actually turned it around and became a really good, solid baseball club.
I'll tell you the standings, but it's going to be very embarrassing last time I heard. We have some breaking MLB news. Mike Trout is going to play in the WBC next year.
All right. That's good
And
to
he will
hear.
be the captain.
Good.
He'll be the next Captain America.
Next Captain America.
Tell you guys what the Astros' current lead is, despite the Mariners winning 14 in a row. It's not double digits.
Wait, what? Say that again, John?
What's the current Astro lead?
Current Astro lead?
Without looking it up. Take a random guess.
The Astro lead is 2 games.
Not even close. 9.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't memorize standings, unfortunately.
I just looked at it. How you win 14 in a row and you're still 9 games back in the division?
John, the Astros were a team that everyone was hoping that once they got caught with the scandal, that they would really not be a good team anymore. But that was clearly wrong.
Very good.
That was clearly incorrect because they still they might even be better now than ever.
Yep, that Jeremy Pena kid, very good.
Yeah, he's good, and Verlander's having a great season. Yordan Alvarez having a good season too. Altuve, of course, he's always top notch.
When he's not having banging trash cans in the background.
Listen,
or a buzzer.
The only team I'm concerned about when it comes down to postseason is the Houston Astros. That is the only thing the Yankees have to worry about is facing the Astros. And I'm telling you right now, I expect the Yankees and the Astros to have a rematch of the 2019 American League Championship Series because those two teams are clearly the best in the American League.
Mm.
I am hoping for that matchup. This way the Yankees could show them what's right.
Mm. I can
and
see
I think it's going to be Mets-Dodgers.
I agree with that. They put on a very good show last month that they split 4 games in LA.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good series. Now, listen, you're going to lose a couple games on the road here and there, but you know what? They played all right. They didn't have a terrible series.
Yep. And think about how good those matchups will be. You have Tony Gonsolin, 11-0. Probably should have started the All-Star game, along with Sandy Alcantara. Tyler Anderson's having a great year.
Who?
Tyler Anderson.
What team is he?
Dodgers. He's having a very good year.
He's I never heard of him. I don't know who he is.
If you watch, he's the lefty that does weird things with his leg staggering when he pitches.
Is he a starter?
Yeah.
Oh, lefty. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't remember him. I'm sorry about that. Oh yeah, Tyler. Okay, 10-1. My bad. Okay. Yeah, he's really good. He seems to be. Yeah, you know what? I haven't followed the Dodgers that much this year, but yeah, okay. All right, now I know about him. I'm sorry about that.
Yep, you have Kershaw being Kershaw again.
Well, Kershaw. See, the problem with Kershaw, he's not a great postseason pitcher.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you got the bullpen's pretty good. So you know what? If he struggles in the postseason, you go immediately to your bullpen, or even have another guy in the start.
The big thing is they're missing Bueller
And Bauer, right? I mean, Bauer's suspended for a long time.
for 2 years.
Yeah, so that's a blow right there. You, like you said, Bueller is out. That's a blow.
Bueller got rocked by the Mets his last start before he went on the injured list.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely question marks for the pitching for the Dodgers for sure. I'm not concerned about their offensive power, but I'm more concerned about their pitching.
I have something very important to tell you if the Mets and Dodgers meet in the playoffs.
Go for it.
Clayton Kershaw has lost one time to the Mets in his whole career, regular or postseason. Who started that game?
Say that again?
Clayton Kershaw has lost one game in his career to the Mets. Take a guess who was the starting pitcher in that game, regular season or postseason?
With postseason.
Yep. Who was it, though? Who started that game?
Johan Santana.
Nope. Santana was never made the playoffs.
Oh, wait. Was this in 2015?
Yep.
Not DeGrom?
Yep.
And this is like when DeGrom first started, right?
Yep. And Joe Buck, you might say, basically called his dominance. Watch the All-Star game that year when he struck out the sign.
Absolutely.
Issued this quote: "Hi, I'm Jacob DeGrom, and I have the chance with my stuff to dominate baseball for years to come."
100%. I totally agree with you.
We have a very important day coming up in 2 weeks, Brandon. You know what that is?
Yeah, we're going to be going to Giants training camp.
And what's the next week, though?
Seattle.
Before that?
What is
the trade deadline?
The trade deadline.
Well,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rumors now going around about the guy from the guy who turned down a 15-year, $440 million contract.
Yep, according to Ken Rosenthal, he reported that Nationals are looking to trade Juan Soto.
Well, clearly, somebody who turns down a contract like that clearly doesn't want anything to do with the team anymore. So
they're rebuilding. That's the thing.
I guarantee you, if they were a first-place team this year and they had a winning culture, I think they would have actually – I think he would have accepted the deal. But I don't think he wants anything part of the rebuild.
I heard a lot of Mets and Yankees in on him.
Oh, there's a lot of Yankees and Mets. A lot of Yankee-Mets rumors going around.
Here, I have a good question for you, Brandon. If you were the Yankees, what would you give up for a 23-year-old that's 2 years away from free agency?
Well, what I would give up, I would actually be okay. Now, I would give up Gallo. Okay, I'd give up Gallo. I'd give up Higashioka. I'd give up.
You probably need to give up at least 3 prospects.
You give up. I'd give up maybe 3 prospects. They would have to give up a couple of and then some draft picks. Yeah, I'd do it. I'd do it in a second.
Here's my offer to the Nationals. You ready for this?
All right, this is the Mets offer from John Giordano.
I would give them Dom Smith, give them a guy who could play first and the outfield, since probably, Josh Bell's going to be out of there too. I would honestly give up top prospect Francisco Alvarez. He's only a few years younger than Soto.
That's not a bad trade because you haven't even seen him play in the majors yet.
Yep. I would probably give up Mauricio because you have some guy making over $300 million blocking him at shortstop.
Right.
There may be 2 more top prospects, and see if the Nationals would give you a bad contract for a lesser prospect.
Yeah.
I won't say Strasburg because he can't stay on the field.
I agree with you 100%. You're right. I totally agree. You couldn't be more right. I mean, just the overall aspect, you turn down the world's largest contract, like the baseball's largest contract like that. What does that tell you? That really tells you he doesn't want anything to do with the team anymore.
Yep. And I would especially give up Alvarez with this kid the Mets drafted last night out of Georgia Tech, Kevin Parada. He was supposed to be one of the best hitters in the draft, and he fell to them at number 11.
Yeah, Yeah. That's not a bad trade, John. See, if you were the Mets, go after him. Go after him. He would be great. He's a great player. I think he'll be really good. Whether he's with the Yankees, if he goes to the Yankees or the Mets, I think he'll do a really good job with each of the team.
And think about that lineup if you get him. You have Nimmo leading off, Marte batting second. I'll even put him third, Lindor fourth, Alonso fifth, McNeil sixth. Can probably Guillorme somewhere in there. And the catcher.
James
What do you think?
McCann
Or Nito.
or Thomas Nido.
Or, of course, the legend, Patrick Mazeika.
Okay. Well, listen, I think that's a great. I think you're on the right track in terms of. I think you could easily get him. I really do. I think he would come to the Mets, but I think he has a good chance of coming to the Yankees too. The question is going to be, what do the Nationals want in return? That is going to be the biggest issue here.
Yeah.
The Yankees are okay with what they got, but what do the Nationals? The Nationals is not going to give him up like that. They're going to want a lot for him.
They'll probably have to give up one of those shortstops in their minor leagues.
Right. I think they'll be all right with that. The Yankees.
I don't think they would give up Volpe, though.
No, Volpe or Dominguez. I don't think they're giving up either one because those two are supposedly very good prospects.
Dominguez isn't even that much younger than Soto, I believe, right?
Yeah, he's around. I think he's like our age, somewhere around our ages.
I think he's maybe younger than Soto, actually. Soto's your age, remember?
Yeah.
Let me check the Yankees prospects. But I believe Dominguez is younger than you. Jason Dominguez was born on February 7th, 2003.
Yeah.
Think about that. He's younger than Alvarez with the Mets.
Wow.
And he's still 2 years away.
Wow.
How about this, Brian? I'll give you the Yankees' top 10 prospects. Tell me who you would offer them for Soto. At number 1, you have Volpe. Number 2, you have Peraza. 3 is Dominguez. 4 is Austin Wells. 5, Ken Waldichuk. Trey Sweeney, Hayden Wesneski, Yoendry Gonzalez, Luis Keel, Everson Pereira. Who would you give up out of those 10?
I give up Gil. I give up maybe. Listen, I think I want to keep Wells. I think Wells could be a good player.
Yeah.
Peraza, I'd give up.
The problem I see here is 3 of your top 10 are shortstops.
Right, but Austin Wells is a catcher, right?
Yep. Your top 4 are position players, and then you have 4 pitchers in the rest of the top 10.
Right, and we also got to make sure that the value, it has to be equal value. The Yankees get what they get, and the Nationals have to have kind of equal value. You don't want to, if you're the Nationals, you don't want to lose anything to this. You don't want to go back. You don't want to turn into a nightmare.
You don't want to turn into like a Miggy Cabrera trade.
Right, exactly. Totally. But we'll see what happens by the trade deadline. I mean, I think a lot of teams are out to get Soto. I think a lot of teams would want him.
I can really see him going to the Mets, though. I don't know if
Could
they'll
happen.
make a trade in division, but that would be a very interesting situation.
It will be an interesting situation.
I didn't even notice Juan Soto has 20 home runs this year.
Yeah.
Only 43 RBIs, though, because he's playing for a terrible team.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to do emails. All right, we're back here on the J&B podcast. Let's get to some of your emails before we say goodbye. This email is from the #slinging slasher. I don't know if that's a real name, but all right, they sent a legit question. Why is Brandon a fake Rangers fan? What will it take for the Mets or Yankees to get Soto? Okay, listen. I'm not a fake Ranger. Okay. A lot of people, when it comes down to playoffs, they tune in a lot more. Okay. The Rangers happen to have been one of the teams. And listen, if you know me, I love the Knicks. Okay. I love the Knicks. But when was the last time? I mean, we went to the playoffs last year, but we didn't go that far in the playoffs. But I figured it's cool to support a team that plays also in Madison Square Garden and go that far into the playoffs. So yeah, I don't see a problem with not watching most of the regular season games and just tuning into the postseason. I don't think that's a problem at all. But would you say I'm a fake Rangers fan? No, I wouldn't say I'm a fake Rangers fan. A fan is somebody who tunes into a game.
But
And
me don't think you are.
well, I'm talking about Hashling a Slasher here. Hashling a Slasher he doesn't even know me, so I don't understand what he means by a fake Ranger. I mean, you never even met me, so
He's heard you on all these podcasts.
yeah, but I don't know. But his second part of the question is, what will it take for the Mets or Rangers to get Soto? Just giving up a good amount of people,
like we just talked about.
Yeah, John. I'll let you answer this one.
Yeah,
you're the Mets fan here.
Yeah. About what it'll take them to get Soto?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, it's probably going to take Dominic Smith because, like I said, they're probably going to get rid of Bell and need a first baseman. Probably going to need to give up at least 3 of their top 10. Same thing with the Yankees. And maybe take on a bad contract like Corbin, even though he led them to that World Series.
Absolutely. All right, it's a good answer. That's I totally agree with you, man. That's not bad. Let's go to our second question. We got take 2 more questions, and then we're going to say goodbye. This is from Adam. I am a huge Buffalo Bills fan. What do you think of the Bills' expectations going into the season, and what do you think do you think they'll be able to beat the Chiefs in the postseason this year? I like the Bills and what they got. I think they're going to go really far. I think they do have a chance to beat the Chiefs this year because Tyreek Hill is now a Miami Dolphin. I think that helps a lot when it comes down to potentially beating the Chiefs. Now, the Bills should have won last year. They should have won. Now, if the overtime rules were not stupid and they were actually, normal and gave teams to actually a chance to win the game, maybe the Bills would have actually won that game. They should have won the game because they had a lead at the end, like with 20 seconds left, and they blew it. But yeah, they should have won that game and then could have went to the Super Bowl, to the championship series. But you got Mahomes back, but I think without Tyreek Hill, I think the Bills could still beat them. I really do.
Well, the thing is, don't they still have Kelsey there?
They have Kelsey, but Tyreek Hill is a warrior. He's a warrior.
Did he do anything? I don't remember against the Bills.
He did a lot. I mean, as accurate as Mahomes is, he would easily just throw passes to him, and he would just. And by the way, he's also lightning quick too. He sprints down the field in a second. I mean, literally, before you close your eyes, he scores a touchdown. I mean, that's how good he is.
You wouldn't think they would give him up. A team that's been to 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I'm getting a very special call for you, Brandon.
Let's hear this. Is it a prank call?
Yo, what's up, John?
What's up? Who's your mystery caller?
Oh, I didn't know I was on the show. I thought the show was over today.
Not quite.
The show we're taking emails now. Send an email. If you want to send email, if you want to be on the show, you have to send an email to the jbpodcast@yahoo.com.
Nice.
Who's
on the show right now?
Right now it's just Brandon and John. There's no guests right now, but we're hoping to have guests in the future.
And what show? What's the title of
The
the show?
J&B Sports
We'll
Podcast.
send you send us your email. We'll send you all the links relating to the channels of where our show can be found.
Nice. Well, it's awesome to be on the show, guys. Maybe I can be there in person one day. That would be great. And we talk about.
Well, we'd love to have you, whoever you are. We'd love to have you on the show.
Maybe we'll talk about your wife leaving you.
No, call her.
All right, goodbye, mystery caller.
Oh, that was a funny call.
You know who it was?
You don't think I know who the people that call are? Of course I know who they are. I know who that is.
Yep. It kind of gave it away when I told him about his wife leaving him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we love when people call the show. Getting calls is part of sports radio and sports podcasting. So we want to take calls and emails, but we prefer emails because we don't really have a system yet where we could take calls. So it'd probably be better if you send us your emails, because the emails we just read off and we'll read your name and then we'll tell you our answers and responses to it.
Shout out to Tony though for that call.
Shout out to Tony. So thank you for that call, but we next time we'll hopefully have you on the show.
And shout out to both Kevin Bach and Kevin Miller as usual.
Shout out to them.
But back to Adam's question.
Yeah, Adams. Yeah, I to answer, precisely. I think they will beat the Chiefs this year. I really do. I think Tyreek Hill leaving is an enormous change for the Chiefs. I really think it's a difference in a game. I think it's a game changer for the Bills because now they have a chance of actually winning the conference.
As long as Allen doesn't get hurt, I think they're going to be in good shape.
I agree with you. And I love Josh Allen. I always liked him. I always thought he was a good quarterback. I always thought he had good attitude to every game. He always had. When do you ever see him upset? Have you ever seen him upset in a game?
I haven't watched him too much besides when they've killed the Jets.
I mean, he's got the greatest football attitude I've ever seen. He's always in positive spirits when he's playing.
I think we have to make our way to a game either at MetLife or take a ride to Buffalo this year.
Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. We got to figure that out. We'll definitely do something like that. But
question in December.
Exactly. Let's go on to question 3. We're going to take 4 questions. This is question number 3. Here's question 3. Brandon and John. This is from Joe. From Brandon and John. Brandon and John, are you guys both into golf? Do you ever play golf before? And are you interested in possibly, when you guys go to Florida playing golf? That's a very good question. I don't think John, have you ever played golf before?
I've attempted, but it did not go well when at Monmouth.
Golf was a game that, when COVID hit, a lot of people started to play. And, I heard that the golf courses were packed during COVID and all that. But you know what? I want to learn how to play golf. I think golf is an interesting sport. I like to go to Florida and play golf because that's where golf is actually known to be.
Maybe
popular.
Our next vacation will do it.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I'd love to go down and play golf. Try it out. I never played before, but it'd be a cool thing to do. A lot of people like it. A lot of people have a good time on the course. Driving the cart.
Yep. Which I will not be doing.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're gonna try and hit up some golf. In the foreseeable, maybe next year if we can. But if you know Brandon, if you know John and I, we're more of a baseball, basketball, football type people.
Even though you are a fake hockey fan.
I'm not a fake hockey fan, okay? We actually have Buffalo Bills. We have somebody just popped up in my backyard. A diehard Buffalo Bills fan has just popped up in my backyard.
Hello. I have a fact.
Come on the show. Say hi to everyone. Come on.
We have our first live guest.
Live guest right here. He's actually a diehard Buffalo Bills fan.
Our first live in studio.
Live Buffalo Bills fan. Now he was hoping to go to the Bills Rams in Los Angeles, but tickets were like $230. But you excited for the Bills this year?
Well, very excited.
I was just explaining to John that I think the Bills have a chance of winning the conference this year.
Vegas has the Bills as the odds-on favorite now, 650 plus 650 to win the Super Bowl this year. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
But
I also said that Tyreek Hill leaving the Bills, going to the Dolphins, I think that's a benefit for
the Chiefs.
Leaving the Chiefs, I think that's a great thing for the Bills. I think he was a monster in last year's playoffs.
Oh,
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, a big loss for the Chiefs.
Now,
yep.
Do you think
the Bills had a good pickup over a couple of good pickups, key pickups over the over the winter this year.
Yeah,
They got Jake Crow,
Jamison Crowder. from the
Jamison
Jets.
Crowder. Let me tell you something. Wait until you see this guy's going to have a breakout. I mean, he was a great receiver, but he had nobody throwing the ball at him when he played with the Jets. He's got the best quarterback in the league going to throw balls at him, and I think this guy's really, really good. You got him. Listen to these three receivers that the Bills have. I challenge you to show me another team that has a better triple threat than the Bills. They got Gabriel Davis, Stephon Diggs, and Jamison. Wait until you see Jamison Crowder. Yeah, he's gonna be good.
Well, Adam, I'm excited to see you with your Bills this year. I'm hopefully that they'll win a Super Bowl.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Good to see you.
We'll have to bleep that out, but okay. But yeah,
Great to see him.
that's a diehard Bills fan. Now,
Our first live guest in person.
that was our first live guest, and I gotta say that was a really good. Thank you for coming on the show, man.
I'm a great cat.
Yeah. That was actually awesome because he actually knows he's a diehard Bills fan. He knows a lot about the inside outs. Now, that guest actually, he was, it's funny. He was a Giants fan. I know him personally. He's a Giants fan and a Bills fan. So he does both. He likes the Giants and the Bills. Now, did you hear?
He's not a big fan, Brandon.
Did you hear everything he said? Because I didn't know because my headphones were on.
I heard him for the most part.
Okay, good. Because I was worried because I was wearing headphones and stuff.
I think you just couldn't hear me.
Oh, okay. No, I heard you fine.
No, he wouldn't have been able to hear me.
Oh, yeah, because he doesn't have headphones.
Yeah.
But that was a good question. That question turned out to have a guest on the show too, which is great. That was great.
He just unexpectedly walked out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him on the show more for. And listen, I'll say who it is. That is my father. If you know who I am, that's my dad. He's a diehard Bills fan. He loves the Buffalo Bills, and he's been starved.
Sports.
I bought him for his birthday. I bought him a Jim Kelly jersey for his birthday. And he loved Jim Kelly. A lot of Bills fans love Jim Kelly growing up. I bought him a Jim Kelly jersey, and he loves it. He wants to go to Buffalo this year and wear it to a game. But it's
Maybe we'll go out there with.
Yeah, maybe the three of us will go. We'll go on a road trip to Buffalo. We'll go to maybe we'll go. Well, we're actually planning on going to the Jets Bills at MetLife if you're down to go with us.
Sure. When is it?
I think it's sometime in November, I believe.
Let me actually take a look.
Maybe Doug wants to go too.
But didn't you say we have another question going back on topic?
Yeah, one more question, and then this was kind of a longer show today, but I like the questions. I like them keep coming in, and I like when you ask me.
November 6th was the game at the Jets.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm down as long as I'm around.
Okay, our last question is from Kenny. Kenny asks, let me see, I'll pull up the question right here. Kenny asks, Brandon and John, now, I know you guys like to travel a lot. I know you like to go to different cities. What is your favorite city to visit in terms of overall entertainment, sports, overall atmosphere? What's your favorite city? Okay, that's actually a very good question. John, you go first.
Well, before trip to Seattle, Miami's up there.
Miami, that's a great answer. That's a great city. It really is.
Since think about it, Lone Depot Park was nice, even though people criticize it because the Marlins aren't a good team.
Right.
That Heat game we went to was good.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot to do in Miami. There really is.
We didn't go during the right time, but the Dolphins have been good the last couple of years.
Yeah, they have.
But up there might be Pittsburgh with the close vicinity of everything,
Pittsburgh. I like that. I like your answer.
Since when we went last year, remember our hotel was walking distance from both Heinz Field and PNC Park.
Absolutely. If only I didn't have my my personal thing, we probably would have went to that Yankees Pittsburgh series last week.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
Well, the problem was that was during the week.
Yeah. See, if it was on the weekend, we probably would have went.
Yep, we have to try to plan more weekend trips. Those are fun.
Now, my favorite city, I have to say San Diego. I love San Diego. I think San Diego has a little bit of everything. They have the nicest beaches in California. I think they had. Well, Malibu's really nice in LA, but I love San Diego. I think San Diego is one of the nicest cities I've ever been to. Coronado is beautiful. I love Old Town. I love the overall city. I think everything there is beautiful. I think that's my favorite city is San Diego. But John, we still got a lot of cities that we both of us haven't seen. But you know what? We're young guys. We can try to see as much cities as we can. And you're going to Seattle next week in a couple weeks, I think, right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. You're going to Seattle, so you can let us know how Seattle was.
And I think me and Jarko are looking to go to San Diego next year if the Mets are there on a weekend.
Exactly. John, you're going to have the time of your life in Seattle. Well, thank you all for tuning into the J&B podcast.
Very important last call, Brandon. Yolando, 3-peat tonight.
You bet. We'll see you. Enjoy the home run derby, everybody. Have a good All-Star week. We'll see you on Thursday or whenever the next podcast is. I was thinking the Yankees Astros is Thursday, Si. I made it like I was actually broadcasting the game. That's my bad.
All right, we'll do one on Thursday, Brandon.
All right, we'll do it. We'll try to do another one soon. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great week.